Hey everyone, it's Chris Loud. In this intuitive abstract painting exercise, we're going to build botanical forms using texture instead of trying to paint them directly. I'm working with acrylic paint and starting from a quick warm-up prompt. I'm letting shapes emerge through grouping and color and mark making rather than defining anything too clearly. And we're going to do that using mostly unconventional tools, which tends to loosen things up right away. So here's the prompt. We have a time limit of 20 minutes. For colors, we're using Prussian Blue, Cadmium Yellow, and Alizarin Crimson, or the closest you have to those. And you can always use black and white as well if you want. And the goal is to use primarily non-traditional tools to create clustered, botanical-inspired forms that suggest flowers or plant life through color, texture, and grouping, without clearly defining them. If you like working with exercises like this, I've got the 50 abstract warm-up painting prompts download. I'll leave that linked in the description if you're interested. It's a great way to keep ideas flowing and stay consistent. And real quick, Susie, John, Gerlinda, Kathleen, Susan, and Nadia, thank you so much for the super thanks and coffee support. It really does mean a lot, and I'm glad you're finding these videos helpful. So to get started, I've laid down a pretty simple neutral background, just a mix of cadmium yellow, Mars black, and titanium white acrylic paint, and I'm applying that with a piece of cardboard. That gives a slightly uneven surface right away and takes the edge off the white of the paper, so we've got something to respond to. And then from there, I brought in more acrylic paint using crumpled newspaper to build up texture. That immediately creates a variety of broken and organic marks that feel more natural than what we'd get with a paintbrush. And right away, this changes how I approach the painting. Instead of trying to place something intentionally, I'm reacting to what these tools and textures are giving me. So I'm applying this right now with newspaper, just crumpled up newspaper, and just getting some thick random marks down. But I am going to come in with a brayer here, and I think this is the only time that I use the brayer, and kind of spread that out, spread a little of that color out, and then come back in with the newspaper to get some more thick paint down that is, again, kind of staying with that whole random thought. I'm not trying to paint leaves or petals. I'm just building clusters of color and texture and letting something start to emerge from that. So all of these colors are now just mixes of the Prussian Blue, the Cadmium Yellow, and the Alizarin Crimson with a little bit of white, and just applying this roughly with newspaper and cardboard. And I'm going to come in with a toothbrush. That's going to be really my third kind of go-to unconventional tool that is really going to help me apply some of that paint in a way that, one, is a little unpredictable, but two, gives me a little bit of movement, kind of a feeling of movement with some of these floral shapes. And what starts to happen when we work like this with acrylic paint and unconventional tools is that we take a lot of the pressure off getting something right. When we think about something botanical, it's easy to fall into trying to draw or paint it accurately. But when we build it through texture instead, we're just creating something that feels organic. And that shift makes it a lot easier to stay loose. It also keeps the painting full of energy. These tools naturally create irregular and broken marks that feel more alive than controlled brushwork. There's more movement and more variation, and the painting feels more active overall. So I'm bringing in the toothbrush here as my third non-traditional tool, along with the cardboard and the newspaper that I'm applying paint with. And right now I'm just dabbing that down, trying to get kind of the illusion of some of the background showing through in some of those textured areas there. And a big part of painting like this is that we're we're learning to suggest instead of define. So through clustering and color, our brains start to recognize something familiar, even though we haven't spelled it out. It starts to lean a little bit into that impressionistic idea, where we're not trying to define everything, we're just giving enough information for the eye to fill in the rest. And as we're building these shapes, we're also working on composition without really having to think about it too much. Botanical forms are really just groups of shapes working together. So we're naturally practicing things like balance and spacing and focal areas just by clustering marks in color. And some areas start to feel more dense and some more open, and that creates structure in the painting without us forcing it. So you can see I'm using this toothbrush, and I'm just applying a few different varieties of that cadmium yellow mixed with titanium white to get just kind of a variety of yellows in there. This is something we can take into other paintings too, just using unconventional tools as a challenge. Even though we're working with acrylic paint, which is pretty versatile, the tools we're using really change how that paint behaves on the surface. So even outside of this exercise, we can ask, what happens if we limit ourselves to cardboard or a toothbrush or something that forces us to make different kinds of marks. It breaks us out of those patterns we fall into with a brush and introduces textures and edges we wouldn't normally create. And a lot of times that leads us somewhere new, which is always a great experience and helps us develop as artists. As we work this way more often, we start to notice patterns in what we're doing, the kinds of marks we're drawn to, how we build shapes, how we, how much we simplify or even push things. Those things start to repeat, and that's where style starts to show up. Even in a quick exercise like this, there's a lot of information here. So you can see I just keep coming in with that newspaper, playing around a little bit, and trying to create a little bit more depth, adding a variety of colors. And I will show you at the end some close-ups in the final version. And the final version I did come back for, it was probably 2 minutes, and added a little bit of water-soluble pastels, just a lighter green and a lighter blue. You might not even really be able to notice it, but I'll show you those in the close-ups and in the final version. In that final version, that final painting, I'm going to show you in different orientations. And, I might only show something like this that's more botanical based or, kind of has a somewhat clear orientation. I might only show one orientation typically at the end of the video. But honestly, I think this one does work in different orientations. So we'll see what you think when that comes up. And I think, the big takeaway is that we don't need to define everything for it to feel recognizable. Sometimes just suggesting forms through texture and grouping is enough. And I think it actually keeps the painting more interesting sometimes. These kinds of exercises are a great way to loosen up and experiment and come away with ideas we can bring into our other work. And, you don't have to use a toothbrush or a cardboard or newspaper. Those are the things I grabbed. There are so many things we can grab around us that we could use to paint with. So, look and see what you have. See what you think might be interesting, or even find things that you think you wouldn't be able to work with and try those. I think you'd be surprised what you can do when you start creating and just trying things. So show you some close-ups here, and you can see some of the texture and different colors and how kind of rough and raw this is. But I really liked how this turned out for a 20-minute exercise. It was a lot of fun. So if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe. And if you have any questions or thoughts, I'd love to hear them in the comments. So thanks for watching, and keep on painting.